Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I want to share with you a product that has recently been crowned the world's best sunscreen. A recent review by a lab in Germany took a look at some of the most popular European and US based sunscreens and kind of ranked them out of various different criteria. They of course independently verified the SPF that was been delivered. They looked at the price point, the user experience, the overall volume of product you get, sustainability, and pulled all that together to work out which is the true best of the best when it comes to sunscreens. I have that product with me now and I can't wait to share it. So sit back, relax, let's talk the world's best sunscreen. Now, before we get into this, and before you guys roast me in the comment section below, I know this is just one study, one organisation, one lab's findings. And of course, you guys might completely disagree. But the reason why I thought this study in particular was really interesting and I wanted to feature it in a video is it looked beyond just the verification of that SPF value. Of course, we need to know the protection level that we're applying to our skin, but there's so many other things that go into making a really superb sunscreen. And I think that this study actually covered them in a much more robust way than other studies do. Often when you look at sunscreen testing, it is just that, testing the SPF value that the product gives. It doesn't really take into account the price point, user experience, sustainability, and all the other things that really matter. So if you're with me and think, SPF should be more than just the protection factor, it should be a whole suite of other things involved, make sure you reach down and give this video a big thumbs up and a like. This will help push this video out to a wider audience, and I want this message to be heard loud and clear. You don't need to overpay for your sunscreen. There are some game-changingly good options, and I want to share with you what I think, what has been confirmed by one lab at least as the best of the best. But without further ado, let's cut that waffle and give a big drum roll please to the best of the best sunscreens of 2022, which is this product, the Garnier Ambre Solaire Hydra 24 Protect. They actually put through its paces the SPF 30, though I reached for the SPF 50 because I did a side-by-side comparison and they were very similar, so I thought I prefer the higher protection factor. But in this video, what we're actually talking about in terms of this lab results was the SPF 30 version. So let's start with what are my thoughts. Is this actually the best in class sunscreen? So the SPF value, they put it through its paces on the SPF 30 version and it actually came out as an average of SPF 39, well in excess of what the brand was claiming, and I'm all for that. We should as consumers be able to take this as read, that the value on the bottle is what the product's providing, but we've known with sunscreen failures out of the US, Europe, and of course the Korean sunscreen scandal, this isn't always the case. So it's really nice that this product passed with flying colours. Also gives a really nice level of UVA protection, which is really important because you need broad spectrum sunscreens protecting us against the UVB rays, but also the UVA ones which cause cellular damage and of course age the skin. So I feel like we've got a big tick in the box from the outset. However, what set this apart from some of the other competitors that it was compared against was actually the other metrics and measures that the lab tested against. Let's start with price point. So this comes in at £5 here in the UK. I literally bought this in Boots like 2 days ago. I paid £5 and I thought, wow, that is a fantastic price for 200 mils of sunscreen. If you compare and contrast that to some other products, which I think are absolute game changers in sunscreen, you're getting a lot more product for a fraction of the cost. Take for example this is the La Roche-Posay UV Immune, one of their newest launches. You get 50 mils here for £18. If you look at the Garnier Ambre Solaire like equivalent, this has a higher level of UVA protection, but you're paying £10 for 50 mils. So 1/4 of the product for double the price. So I think again, whilst you're maybe not getting as high UVA protection in this product as you will those two that I just called out, you're getting it at a fraction of the cost. And let's be honest, when it comes to sunscreens, you should feel free to apply the right amount and not be scrimping and saving because you're worried about having to repurchase it with that high price point. I love that drugstore price point, and it kind of compares to me to the Ultra sunscreens, which I absolutely love, and again coming at like a £5 to £7 price point. Now another thing that this product scored sky high ratings on was user experience. This is something I wish that these labs would test more. Okay, the SPF value has to be verified and that is one aspect of it, but how does the product actually apply on real human skin? What are people's experiences with it? I love the fact that this lab actually took a range of different skin types and skin tones because you want it to be a representative sample of the people that are reaching for sunscreens. So of course that I applaud to the rafters. This got super high on user experience and I'm not surprised. It glides onto the skin. It feels beautiful. You get a lot of product so you can use this on the face and body, which again, I think this is nice. Do you want to have to carry around a separate facial sunscreen and a body one? Absolutely not. I like a 2-for-1 style product like this and it just feels gorgeous. So this I'd say has a relatively unique unique finish to the skin, because a lot of sunscreens leave you feeling greasy. You then go to the opposite spectrum, and there's lots of sunscreens that leave you deadpan matte, almost like chalky look on the skin. This doesn't. This kind of leaves, it's invisible. It feels hydrated, so you definitely get some additional hydration alongside that sun protection, but it just feels so light on the skin. There is no reflection there, so it's not dewy in the slightest, but it's also not deadpan matte and chalky. This was the thing, I tried it, I was like, oh my god, this is a revelation. I'm really glad I tried this product out, because I'd say this is probably one of the nicest finishes I've ever found on a drugstore sunscreen. It also doesn't ball up or peel, so you can use it on top of the rest of your skincare routine, and I think it's this user experience that elevates this product from a fairly standard sunscreen into the stratosphere. Has been a really great product. Now let's come on to sustainability. Again, something I think that gets lost in the sunscreen conversations. We're always talking about the SPF value, the finish that it leaves on the skin, and we kind of forget and neglect the sustainability aspect, which is really important. You know, we're all here on planet Earth, and we should be reducing our waste and trying to minimize our environmental impact. This scored super highly on the sustainability measure, which I'm delighted to see. So it's made from 100% recycled plastic, big tick in the box, and it's also 100% recyclable. So it kind of gives an extra life beyond just this one use. You can recycle this. I checked the facilities here in the UK. It's really easy. You can just put it out with your curbside recycling, which again, I absolutely love. Super easy to minimize your waste by recycling the product, and I love the fact that it is made from 100% recycled plastic. Now finally, let's come on to the additional benefits. So what are you getting beyond just the good sun protection? Well, I think this is one of the most hydrating sunscreens I've ever found. I kind of expected it. It's in the name, the Hydra 24, and Garnier say this actually hydrates the skin for 24 hours after use. I'm not totally sold on that, because you're going to be washing your skin in your evening skincare routine, so that's probably not going to be the case. But in theory, if you didn't wash your skin, then this would provide 24 hours of hydration. It feels gorgeous. It's invisible on the skin, but you definitely notice the skin is plumper, it's more hydrated, and I really love that. Beyond just that hydration, there aren't any other real beneficial ingredients. They have some shea butter in here, which is really nice, and it's sustainably sourced shea butter, which is really important, because again, just feeding into that sustainability aspect. We're all about the fair trade and the sustainable, and again, with such an affordable price point, it's just really nice to see. So you've got some really nice rich butters, but I think this is a product that's all about the hydration. It's niacinamide free, which I think is important, because a lot of people don't like to reach for niacinamide in their sunscreens, because it can trigger some of the pilling and the balling up, or maybe we're just overusing that ingredient, and I covered this in a recent video, which I'll link up there. So yeah, I'd say a really nice super hydrating sunscreen that's got that locked in verified protection, great sustainability, super affordable and drugstore. What's not to love? Well, there's a couple of things I do want to come on to. First and foremost, you've got 6 different UV filters in here. It's a hybrid sunscreen, so you've got a mixture of chemical and mineral filters, which is great. As you can see, there's no ashiness or white cast, which is always something I look out for, particularly with hybrid sunscreens, but you don't get that. And this is a really nice blend of those different filters. They're also using newer generation filters, which are more photo stable. So whereas a lot of the times you'll see on the back of packets that you must reapply every 2 hours, actually the advice on this is reapply when required, specifically after toweling. This is actually a water resistant sunscreen too. You know what I mean? It's kind of almost sounding too good to be true. I've left the links to the different filters used in the description box below, and a brief description about the benefits that they give for the skin. If you're a little bit of a sunscreen nerd and you want to know a little bit more, it's all there in the description box for your convenience. Whilst I say it almost sounds too good to be true, there are a couple of things I want to call out. So first and foremost, this does have some fragrance in. Now, I personally love the fragrance. It's summer, it's uplifting, it doesn't last too long, so it dissipates like that, so you're not carrying around that fragrance under your nose all day. And you know what? I appreciate a little bit of fragrance in chemical and hybrid sunscreens, because I think it masks some of the scents that some of the filters do have. This isn't going to be for everyone. If you're looking for entirely fragrance-free skincare, this is going to be a pass. But for everyone else, I do think the scent is really nice. It doesn't linger too long, and I think, it's quite uplifting. This also does have a small amount of denatured alcohol in there. I want to call that out. This isn't really an issue. I think some people get terrified when they see denatured alcohol on a product. It can be stripping and it can be drying, but you need to see it within the overall formulation. If you're using denatured alcohol alongside other humectants, you've got other butters, other hydrators within a product, it's not going to strip and dry the skin the same way that if you just use denatured alcohol on its own. So always bear that in mind. I think this is definitely more hydrating than it is drying, so I think it would work for all skin types, but if you're very sensitive to denatured alcohol. I do want to call that out because, you know, it can cause some sensitivity, so bear that in mind. Overall, I think this is a game-changingly good sunscreen. I'm so glad I read this report and this review because it made me try this, and I think this is going to be a staple in my skincare routine for years to come. If you want something that's super affordable, verified SPF, it's got some great sustainability behind it, and it feels absolutely divine on the skin and would work for the whole family, pick this up. You know, £5 for 200 mils, it doesn't get cheaper than that, and I think this could be a game-changing addition to your skincare routine. I would, of course, recommend everyone, you know, explore the market. It's not the only sunscreen out there, and I've covered so many different sunscreens as part of filming for Here on Mad About Skin. I'll leave a sunscreen playlist in the description box below if you want to check it out. But all I say is shop around, but if you kind of just want a one-stop shop, verified, a gorgeous application sunscreen that's not going to break the bank, reach for that one. You won't be disappointed. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions in the description box below, and wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.